I had a very full life. I had 2 children that I raised myself. So that kept me pretty busy. I had a very active criminal trial practice. Had a lot of hobbies. Did a lot of different things, a big scuba diver. Decided to get some insurance, so I called to get a time to go in and do a physical. And so I went in to do the physical, got checked. The doctor told me that he thought there was a problem. I went back and they did some tests, determined that I had cancer. They were afraid that it may have metastasized. It was prostate cancer. It certainly was very alarming. My father had died of prostate cancer at the same age that I was at that point. They indicated that they didn't know at that particular point in time whether or not it may have metastasized. And so that's why they wanted to do the surgery pretty immediately. I think anytime you talk about cancer, people get afraid. You don't ever know what's going to happen during surgery. I would like for people to, to go back and think, if I get cancer, then I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to lay down and say, okay, it's got me. You get up every day and you put your pants on and you go to work, or you do what you're supposed to do, and you fight it. I go back every few months. I still have it, but had been in remission for years. I'm generally a pretty happy person. No matter what I'm doing, I like to find happiness in whatever I do. I think everybody that has to deal with cancer changes their perspective somewhat on life. You look at life really as a gift, and you have to live every day like it is a gift.
Life before cancer for me was I had a job and I played tennis. I worked in my garden. We just enjoyed being with friends, and I never took a sick day. It was in the spring of 2000, and I noticed that I had a pain under my armpit. I was 38 years old. So it never occurred to me that this was breast cancer. I just thought everyone was being very cautious. My husband is an airline pilot, and I remember saying, this is no big deal, go ahead and go to work. And I got a call from the breast specialist and told me I needed to come in. And that was the time that I knew that something was wrong. I called my husband, and he had to fly in from, I believe, Buffalo, New York. And he said it was the longest flight he'd ever had. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. It took me a couple of weeks to get my head wrapped around it. You think you're going to die immediately. But after that initial 2 weeks, I said, okay, I'm going to beat this. I had chemotherapy first, and then I had a mastectomy and reconstruction surgery. Losing your hair, at that point, you look in the mirror and you are a cancer patient. That was devastating. But I think the hardest part was facing death because, like I say, I was 38. I had never really thought about that. In July of 2001, my cancer spread to my spine. And so, it happened so quickly after the initial treatment was over, and that was much harder. That was much harder. When you find out you're a stage 4 patient, that changes everything. It took me about a year to get my head wrapped around being stage 4. My prognosis was poor, still is. When I first found out that it had spread, and back in 2001, I remember that I cried and told my husband, I've never been to France. So in the middle of all that, my husband took me to France. That kind of set the tone of how we would live our lives. I said, okay, if I only have a 3% survival rate or 5% or whatever the number is, why can't I be in that number? Why can't that number be me? Because somebody has to be in that number. Most people think I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this when I retire. we do those things now. We should have been living our lives this way before I ever found out I had cancer. Being diagnosed with cancer has been a blessing. Until you face death, until you realize what is truly important, and a lot of things we get worried about, not really important. I don't think I've had road rage since I found out I had cancer, because really that's not important. And you really, really get to know what it is that you want to do in life. And I never pass up an opportunity to see my family, my friends, because those are the things you put off while you're working and raising a family because you're busy and you think, oh, we'll do that later. And now's the time. You have the people that are sad because they're 40. I'm elated with every birthday. With every birthday I have, it is an amazing celebration because I never thought I'd have it. I never thought I would make 50. And so for my 50th birthday, I had a destination birthday party in Italy, and I had 17 people come. Celebrate every single day that you have, and because you don't know what's coming around the corner. And, take life by the tail. And the other thing that I would say to other cancer patients, always believe you're in that survival statistic, because somebody has to be, and why not you?